Sounds of Secoma. I almost messed it up and said Milton Watek 99 Productions. No, so the rebrand has been completed. So you may have seen this before as Milton Watek 99 Productions. This is now Sounds of Secoma as of the new year, 2026. Basically, I'm going to go live for a little bit today just to kill some time. I have an open day today. I'm just doing some cleaning at my parents' house on the side. Trying to build up our watch hours. So I hope we can do these lives at least once a week coming up. And I do have some plans for new content as well for you guys. So we'll go into more depth on that once we start getting some people in here. But hoping we can get at least a few different viewers. And time for a water break as well. Gotta make sure to keep up on my water intake. I'm doing a fast right now. Trying to burn off a lot of this fat. Basically just talking to myself right now for archival purposes for when this live stream becomes public and it's not just dead silence the entire time. It'll kind of be a video recap at first, and then once the questions begin coming in, if they do come in within the next like hour or so, then we can become a little more informal. This angle's a little awkward as well. I got to make sure I got to bring the chat up in a separate window. Trying to update my iPhone XR right now. This is normally what I use for streaming, and then I use my main phone here, the 13 Pro Max, to look at chat or do other things as well. I'm trying to get the update through, and it's just, the phone's so old now. It's from 2019. The phone year itself is 2018, but the phone was manufactured as refurbished in 2019. So the actual phone itself is probably 8 years old, and it's requesting the update, but it's just having a tough time trying to get it through right now. Let me see if I can pull this up here real fast. Should probably let you guys know when I go live too, and probably come up with a schedule. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Just make sure everything sounds good audio-wise as well. It's a little bit of a delay. Hang on tight. Okay, everything sounds good. Perfect. Exactly what I wanted. All right, hey there. Welcome in, first viewer. How are you doing today? Anthony here. Sounds of Secoma, formerly known as Milton Watek 99 Productions. Is hopefully trying to do these weekly live streams. I've been really poor about my New Year's resolutions this year. I started out sick the first week or so. Like from the 3rd onward to about the 9th or the 10th, I started out kind of sick, down with something. Okay, and the viewer's gone. Oh well, I'll just recap you guys. Started with some sort of illness. Something's been going around, and I caught it to a slighter degree. And so I kind of just, voluntarily took it easy for about a week or so. And so I really didn't do much. A little bit of a bumpy start to my new year, but I'm trying to rebound here. I've also got the video prepared. I got to do more of the specific editing, but I've got the timeline set up for the recent flooding events that we had last month back in December. I got a whole bunch of flood warnings, a couple flash flood warnings, and a few local area emergencies over the radio. I got the timeline set up. I just need to do the more specific editing, like adding in the EAS number and the time and date that the alert occurred. So that you guys have something to look at while you're listening, other than radios going ballistic. Speaking of that, I gotta reset this one. See, the LED was flashing on that. Yeah, that's the 74-109 in the background. Also have the Midland WR120EZ and the Capello CR2W in the back. I've been contemplating a more permanent radio setup. but I think it's okay the way it is now, having a few radios spread out around the apartment. Most of them in the room, of course. Then I got a few in the living room, a couple in the dining room, and one in the kitchen also. So I think I like that setup. I don't think I'm going to change that setup. The one thing I need to do, though, is I need to figure out how to repair or replace a few of my currently not working radios, like my 12-382 and my HH54 VP, for example. The HH54 VP is completely dead, unfortunately. Even the LCD is completely out. It just something must have happened during the move or something, because it was working fine when I was last in Indiana in 2024 when I took the radio there. But then around the time I moved out about a year ago now, in 2 days it'll be 1 year here in the apartment. But about a year ago or so now, I did the move and then I took it out of the box in March for that severe thunderstorm outbreak that never happened. And I just noticed, hey, something's not right here, and it wasn't working at all. There were a bunch of radios that weren't working, which I thought were dead tuners. But then all of a sudden, my Sangean and my 12519 decided they wanted to work again. And they worked fine ever since. And so no complaints about that. But the 12-382, I believe, has a completely dead tuner. If you guys know, that's my second weather radio that I've had in my collection. And I got it sometime in 2012. At first, I thought my WR100, I think it's a version 4. I have to check again what the version is. My version 4 WR100 was my first ever weather radio. Later December of 2010. You guys saw a post I made before the new year with the photo I took holding up my WR100 in my hand and little 11-year-old Anthony there with the long hair and the kind of funky looking teeth and all of that. Yeah, those were the glory days. That was my first weather radio. It was, I think it was an early Christmas gift, if I recall correctly. Early Christmas gift for 2010. And I thought it was having some issues back in 2012, I think. Then again, remember, I was a noob, a complete naive little kid. So even the smallest issues raised huge concerns for me. So I thought the weather radio was busted. This is after the ice storm of 2012 when I swear, I think it was an ice storm warning. So there was an ice storm warning, but I'm not sure if it was toned as an ice storm warning or a winter storm warning, but I could have sworn, got a notification there. Could have sworn that it was an ice storm warning scroll on the WR100. I don't think they have same tones to differentiate between ice storm and winter storm warnings. I'm going by what I remember here as a kid because I was 12 at the time. I don't remember exactly what month in 2012 it was. I'd like to say it was sometime in March or April of 2012. Was when my mom bought me a Radio Shack 12-382, a 2008 model that was manufactured again in 2008, but sold in 2012. And so I got the WR100 working again. And so I had those two weather radios side by side, but I wasn't into the EAS hobby really until 2013 when I started recording things. I believe it was early 2013 when I started becoming an EAS and really hardcore weather radio enthusiast. You know, and so I really didn't use my two weather radios much to record EAS alerts in 2012 or early 2013. I actually didn't record anything at all. And so they just kind of sat holding up dust, right? And so that's kind of the story of the WR100 and the 12382. Of course, the WR100 is still in active operation today. It still sounds for alerts. Over 15 years and counting. A lot of my other weather radios are going on to 13 or 14 years old. Actually, 12 to 13, pardon me on that. 12 to 13 years old. Seen a few people bouncing from time to time. But it doesn't look like that's the case anymore. All right, 10 minutes, not a single viewer. All right. Then again, a lot of my subscribers are kids too. A lot of EAS and siren enthusiasts is below the age of 18, so they're probably in school right now. Interesting. Sorry, guys, I'm looking at a separate Discord chat here for my other channel, Puget Sound Stormwatch, which is now my primary channel. Uh, been trying to force myself to do regular uploads, but I just don't have the motivation right now. I'm just struggling to gather motivation. Just ever since I left my job to do full-time work for my brand, Puget Sound Stormwatch, also doing work for my previously primary channel, this one on the side. Since I've been home a lot and haven't been traveling much due to being tight on the budget, you know, I'll, um, I'll be transparent here and I'll say I really haven't had any positive gains in the revenue department ever since I quit my full-time job. So I feel like, although my family's telling me no, it wasn't a stupid decision, I still feel like it was kind of a stupid decision in hindsight, considering I didn't have another full-time job plan activated, if you know what I mean. Let me see. My iPhone 10R starting to heat up pretty good. Yeah, this thing is glitchy as all heck. Let's see if I can even load up Snapchat on here. Probably with the struggle. All right, 12 minutes now. Oh boy. Yeah, not working out real good in the watch hours department. I think I saw 1,287 subscribers. And YouTube's been having issues sending out the notifications. So I know most of the time if you have the bell rang here on the channel, you should be getting the live stream notifications. But if you don't have the bell rang, then you actually have to go onto your subscriber page on YouTube to see the notification. I just hope eventually they revamp that system. Okay, good. It's downloading the update finally. Maybe that'll help out our lag issues quite a bit. But yeah, guys, the reason why you're not seeing regular video uploads is mainly due to chronic depression setting in really heavy this time of the year. I wasn't able to afford Christmas gifts for the first time in 10 years, and it just made me really disappointed in myself. Considering I have a little nephew and a little niece that I wanted to gift an item to each, and I wasn't able to afford that this year. Again, all of my earnings have been net in the negative. And this month's not looking too good too. But luckily, I had a really strong month in December. And so the outlook for this month looks okay. I'm going to get paid from YouTube and Facebook. Again, this is from my Puget Sound Stormwatch brand. I'm not even close to qualifying here on the Sounds of Secoma channel as of now. But I'm hoping to release more long form content here eventually. I've had my teaser for the BTS for the siren tests on the back burner for almost 2 months now. Just really disappointed in myself that I haven't even touched it since like later November or earlier December. And I said that it would come out soon, and I fell back on my word, and I'm just it's just something that I'm not okay with when I refer to myself. I want to stick to my word, and the real reason why that never happened yet is just because we had that historic storm event last month where it was just like 2 to 3 weeks of nonstop weather. So I was constantly busy doing live streams on my Puget Sound Stormwatch channel. But thanks to that, I was able to get monetization on that one channel. And so that really, really helps things going down the stretch. But even then, it's not enough, guys. It's not enough. There's still a lot of work to be done. So I want to jump back into the EAS scenarios and the siren synths to really bolster this channel's potential. Because right now, just doing the occasional siren recordings and the EAS uploads aren't cutting it, guys. It's not cutting it. You know, the channel's dying as it is. It's not growing at the moment. It's stagnant or it's dying. And it's something that really irritates me because I've been putting so much effort into this channel since I created it about 12 and a half to 13 years ago. And there were times where I took hiatuses, you know, where my depression got the best of me. You know, I wasn't super busy or sick. It's just, again, guys, I struggle with depression. I absolutely struggle with it. And now being off of antidepressants and any sort of, uh, you know, even the littlest of counseling, which I haven't been to a counselor in about 9 years, 8.5 to 9 years since my previous insurance expired. And then I went to my work insurance, which was Kaiser Permanente. And as you guys know, it's really proprietary. So you have to go through their providers, and the wait list was just not worth it. It was just absolutely not worth it whatsoever. And so I haven't talked to a counselor in almost 9 years, believe it or not. And I've been off my antidepressants since June also. So I'm going on to about 7 months now without any antidepressants. You know, and it's been a struggle, I will say. You know, I'm making myself vulnerable to you guys right now as the viewers. Since a lot of you guys have been here since the very beginning, and a few of you even before that. The reality is, I've actually been on YouTube since 2009. But my original channel, I deleted it stupidly. It had a bunch of memories of my brother, myself, and my best friend as a kid. You know, I deleted that channel back in 2012 because I thought that it would affect our reputations growing up. You know, because my friend was being bullied for it, and I didn't want to be bullied for it, so I terminated the channel instead of just privatizing the channel or all of the videos. You know, and I still think about it from time to time. I was thinking about it a couple of days ago. Luckily, not all of the videos are lost. I was able to save a few dozen at least, but there's still lots of memories here and there that, you know, are just now a memory. I don't have any evidence that that I lived through those days anymore. And you know, that definitely is depressing for sure. Let's see here. So I'm just looking at a few forecasts again. I want to see if we can get any of the subscribers that have the bell rung in here. But I know a few of them, again, are school-age children and are not available right now. So I probably should have streamed later on in the day. Again, I'm just passing a little bit of time right now just to get my mind off of things. There's the neighbor's toilet flushing. Yeah, I'll show you guys a little preview of what my next project is, I suppose. It's going to be a long form video, a really long video. But again, it's a compilation of alerts that I captured from December. There's actually, oh, hey there, Rail Fanner, Pacific Northwest. Hello there. Welcome in. Glad to see you. I'm just talking about the state of the channel, you know, the change of, ooh, excuse me. You know, the change of the name and the content that I want to put out from this point on, including rail fanning content potentially. Having some issues with the main vehicle as well. It's really starting to show its age. Going on to 34 years old here in June. You know, I have a 1992 Nissan Pathfinder, as you guys have seen previously on the channel. Actually, anything that isn't related to sirens or EAS or rail fanning, I've actually unlisted or privatized here on the channel. And I'm going to be doing all of my tech related content, not related to that, on my new channel, which is my name, Anthony Croyle. If you guys want to go check that out as well, I'll pull it up for you guys here real quick to show you guys a quick little preview. Right now, it's all short form content. So you see, if you guys want to go follow this is Anthony Croyle again. 4 subscribers, 5 shorts. So I started out with 0. I actually hadn't used this channel for the first almost 13 years that it's been active. I started this, I think this was a Google Plus channel. Like when I first started up this YouTube channel, which was Milton Watt Tech 99 at first, it started up as a Google Plus account when Google Plus was a thing. And this was the channel that was linked to my Google Plus. So it actually started sometime around June 2nd, I think. And I haven't used it. I literally have not used it in the first 12 years. But I started using it this year. I thought, okay, let's start an experiment. Let's start from scratch and see what happens. And you see, the views on the shorts are hit or miss. A lot of them are under 200 views. One of them actually only got 2. So that was a scrub on the algorithm. This one has almost 2,000 views. And so far, the 4 subscribers are my other channels. Again, my other channels, here's all of them right here. The autofocus is probably going to be a little bit stingy. Again, here's that one. Soundstorm Trance Radio, where I post my music productions. If you guys want to check that one out, again, Soundstorm Trance Radio. I was posting all of my music productions originally on this channel, but I moved over. So in 2023, I created these 3 new channels. Soundstorm Trance Radio, originally Milton Watt Tech 99 Vlogs, which I changed to Anthony Croyle Vlogs at the start of this new year, and Puget Sound Stormwatch. As you guys can see, the Vlogs channel has been dead for the last 2 years. I literally haven't used it for 2 years, but I have content stored away that I eventually want to use on that channel. I just have to get into editing it. But again, like I said, the motivation is so low at the moment. It's frustrating. And Puget Sound Stormwatch was dead the first year or so, but I started using it really this last year. I started going full time on that channel. As you guys can see, it's now my most popular channel, over 2,000 subscribers on that. That's the channel that I have monetized as well. Let me bring you guys back to the front-facing camera real quick. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on. Putting most of my effort into that Stormwatch channel right now. You know, and so I haven't been spending a lot of time on this channel. But let me show you the project that I have loaded up again. I almost forgot to show you guys. So again, I've been using Premiere Pro and Adobe Creative Cloud for the last 6 years or so. About 5 to 6 years. And so I have a long timeline. This goes out to a whopping, let's see here, what is that? About 24 minutes and 23 seconds of just EAS alerts. This again is from about a 2-week period or so. So starting out with a flood warning here. See, starting out with a bang. And there's actually, again, there's an amber alert tucked in there too. A couple of flash flood warnings for levee breaches as well. And then a lot of messages from the, I believe this is the Central Alert Repository, or CAR. Because I remember I missed this alert as I was leaving my apartment one day.
The National Weather Service has issued a flood warning for major flooding for the White River at the R Street Bridge, affecting King and Pierce.
So yeah, that's that. And then the local area emergencies as well. This was only over radio since NWS Seattle eliminated their NDEC back in 2022. And they used a really cruddy text-to-speech sound, which was hardly intelligible whatsoever.
18M on deck 10, 2025 effective until 10:18 a.m.
Yeah, you see, it's horrid. See, oh yeah, there was a flash flood watch as well. I forgot about that. There was a flash flood watch. That was the flood warning. I think this was the flash flood warning.
Oh shoot. Oh shoot.
No, this was the flash flood watch right here.
What?
So yeah, 2 flash flood warnings, 1 flash flood watch. However many flood warnings you want to count. And I think 5 local area emergencies. And of course, a couple of amber alerts during the middle of this too. Which I ended up getting on 2 stations.
Just got the end of it. 105.3.
And you see there's that flash flood warning. Yeah, here's the one I got while I was live streaming. A lot of these I got while I was live streaming. On my Peace It Sounds So Much channel.
Flash flood warning.
And this was one that came at 1:30 the next morning. Woke me up out of dead sleep at 1:30 a.m. Then I think that was everything from that event, if I recall correctly, because the rest after this consisted of required weekly tests. Consisted. So yeah, huge long form video coming up for you guys. If you guys are into long form videos, this is definitely one for you, for sure. So lots of action on this one. Just got to check to make sure I have all of the content here that I was looking for. So this is, again, a screen recording there. So I think, yeah, that's the last screen recording there. Again, I got a lot of recordings from the Central Alert Repository or the CAR app here on iOS. And most of them, though, are recordings of actual weather radio soundings. I think I got everything. Yes, I did. Yeah, that's that. And then there's my Discord blowing up. Not trying to leak any valuable information, but so far I've done a pretty good job not doing that. So applause to me on that. But yeah, I do need to do quite a bit of editing still on that. I don't think I'm gonna do any hardcore editing, like just simple transitions and then overlays with the EAS number and the time that it occurred, date and time. I have the transitions all set. I just need to do the dates and times, which means I got to look back through all of my iPhone recordings and everything and line up the date and time so that I make sure I have everything archived. But yeah, folks, that's pretty much that. See, we had 2 people viewing at one time and 1 person viewing right now. So if you guys are watching right now, go ahead and let me know where you're watching from. If you guys would like to answer that for me, that would be great. Just to get some viewer integration. You know, because I want to make sure to include the viewers in my journey also. You know, I don't want to leave you guys out. Cortez Buchanan is watching from Michigan. Hello. Are you going to see the video? Am I going to see the video? What? Is there a video you posted? Let me look this up real quick. Railfan or PNW, you're actually right next to me. I'm in Milton, so interesting. Okay. See, you had a video from 3 weeks ago. unless I'm misunderstanding what you're saying. I might be misunderstanding what you're saying. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Sorry if it's very uneventful. There hasn't been much activity on the channel here the last week or so outside of me posting that RWT. The link is in the live stream. Okay. I'll have to look into that. Hang on, I gotta pull up my live here on the PC because I can't see any other comments outside of what just pops up here on mobile. Since I'm streaming on my iPhone 13 Pro Max right now, I need to pull it up here on my computer real quick. Let's check out comments. Link is in the live stream. No, there's no link in the live stream. But let me go by your channel real quick again one more time. Oh yeah, that's right. You are in Michigan. You post a lot from. Saw your posts about Redford Township and Northville, Michigan. Pretty cool, and it looks like you're growing pretty quickly too. So good for you. Oh yeah, because you unless you're a moderator or myself, you can't post links in the comments. So I'll have to check that out at a different time. But I do appreciate the intel nonetheless. Now I'll go look by your channel later on and give you a subscription from my channel. But yeah, again, if you guys like the channel and want to see more content, go ahead and share the video to your audience or share the channel to your audience. Because I do have some big plans, such as releasing the behind the scenes. You know, and this is where I wish I had the memberships on this channel, because that way I would release the behind the scenes to you first as a member and then make it public. And also for channel memberships in the future, I want to release raw BTS clips to you guys first, or just a BTS playlist that I would release to you guys first. Or, you know, I wanted to do Patreon at first, but you know, it just didn't work out. I didn't get it set up, so I actually transferred my Patreon over to Sound Stormwatch. And I want to see, does anyone know if you can do multiple Patreon creator accounts on one membership? Or do you only have one Patreon per account? Because as far as I know, right now, I'm only seeing you can do one Patreon. And that Patreon is my Sound Stormwatch account right now, which doesn't have any relevance to this channel, Sounds of Secoma. Yeah, I don't think I'm able to create another Patreon, unfortunately. Which sucks. But hey, it is what it is. I may set up a coffee though. I have a coffee account. I just thought of this. I have a coffee account for Puget Sound Stormwatch, and it's been extremely popular. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about here in just a second. Let me show you guys real quick. So this is Coffee, KO-FI. This is my coffee page for my other page, Puget Sound Stormwatch here. And it's been taken off. I have 269 coffees received. And a lot of people willing to give support. So, you know, would you guys as viewers be interested in having a donation page set up like this? Or I could also, well, I have my PayPal and Venmo also linked down in the description as well. You guys are interested in donating to see growth in the future. Because right now, I'll be honest, I'm struggling to stay afloat here on these multiple online incomes without a stable income. I'm definitely struggling to stay afloat. I'm eventually, the way it's looking right now, unless something magical happens, I'm going to have to go back to work. Which I don't want to do, but if I have to do to survive, then it's what's going to have to be done, honestly. It is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. That's a saying that I was introduced to by one of my former coworkers. And so I'm just being really careful about things, both financially and mentally as well, because I've been going through a lot of mental burnout, a lot of it. If you guys haven't, if you guys weren't able to tell, like over the duration of my time here on YouTube under Milton Watt Tech 99, I've experienced a lot of burnout over the years, especially from the pandemic onward. Like there was one time there where I went multiple months without posting, and then of course more recently, 2024 through last year, like 14 to 15 months where the channel was dead. I hadn't posted one single video or update really. And then I dropped the channel trailer and everyone's like, "Oh, he's so back." And yeah, we're so back. And then I released short form content and the channel began to grow again. And we grew from like I can't remember. I think we were under 1100 followers or subscribers, under 1100 subscribers. And now we're up to, I think we're 13 shy at the moment of 1300. So some growth, not major, but still noticeable growth. And thank you guys for subscribing even during the slow times. I just ran out of motivation for short form content just because I had already posted the highlights from most of my main videos already. I didn't want to keep recycling and recycling. I'm just trying to really push those algorithms to tell YouTube like, hey, this guy is the real deal. He is the real deal and he's back in action. Oh, and I saw someone subscribed on my my other YouTube channel too. Thank you so much, whoever subscribed. If you guys, let me see if I can pull this up real quick. I saw someone subbed over there. It's not showing me who though. Someone did sub over there, so thank you if you were watching and you subscribed to my my other channel, Anthony Croyle, which is my full name. Means a lot. I want to see how quickly we can get to 1,000 on there, if we can get to 1,000. Which means I got to get a little more serious about the content on there, especially short form. Right now, I'm keeping it short form on there, doing YouTube shorts, just because that seems to be pushing the algorithm much more than the long form content and the streams. I've been thinking about starting Twitch live streaming too, but I don't know if it's going to be super eventful, honestly, and consistent. Of course, a problem they have is consistency. That's a huge problem that I have, and it's something that I'm always kind of nitpicking myself about is, can I be consistent? That's huge to me, is consistency. I've been consistent again on my Puget Sound Store Much channel, but not on this one. I want to change that eventually, but I got to come out with more content ideas. So if you guys want to see more like EAS scenarios and Siren Synths, for example, except I haven't done an EAS scenario in years. Like I think since around the time I first started the channel, or maybe about a year after that, like 2014, the last time I've done an EAS scenario. So it would be pretty rusty. Really, really rusty.
16 a.m. By the way, I am trying to respond from the right place.
Oh,
Was this the device you expected?
no.
Okay.
That's
thank
odd.
you.
I didn't even summon the echo. That's weird. You guys probably saw me flinch a little bit. I was like, what is that sound? Figured out what that sound was real quick. And so just let me know, guys, what kind of content ideas you guys want to see on here, because I'm open to a lot of things at the moment. Eventually, I want to get back out to the trackside too, but I got to make sure my vehicle's not going to break down on me and leave me stranded. It's a good thing about AAA, but I need to do a lot of work on my vehicle, a lot of work. So a neighbor just brought up to me. Literally, I went outside about an hour ago to go on a short walk around the neighborhood, and it just threw me off because there's a puddle of what looks like watered down oil underneath my vehicle. And it does leak oil from time to time, but I've never seen like a light brown colored oil underneath there. So I thought, okay, maybe I have a coolant leak now. Checked my coolant levels, they seem okay. Uh, I just don't know what it is, but it's always been something with that vehicle. And again, going on 34 years old, it's becoming more and more unreliable. And there's some issues such as a misfiring fuel injector and a grinding noise in the front left wheel, but it's also a caliper that's sticking in the front left as well. So the front left, especially of the suspension, needs to be ripped apart and tuned up again. I need to re-grease all of the ball joints. I need to re-grease the tie rods. Probably rip out the wheel bearings, re-grease those. Figure out what's going on with the fuel injector, clean the spark plugs. I've got an ultrasonic cleaner that I've never used yet. Had an ultrasonic cleaner for the last almost 2 years, and I've still never used it. This would be the shot to use that, for sure. Clean some fuel injectors, some spark plugs, and some other components. Like probably my idle air control valve on that as well, and a few other things. And it's running really rich and will backfire on occasions, and backfire as soon as I start it up after a couple days of sitting. It'll just backfire. It'll go boom and then immediately start running. It just tells you how rich it's running. So I've most likely got a fuel injector that's leaking and occasionally misfiring as well. I got to clean the O2 sensor. I got to make sure my mass airflow sensor is working correctly. I was on an aftermarket one for a while, but then I picked up another low mileage OEM mass airflow sensor for the vehicle, and it didn't change anything. There's a few sensors I can swap around. I have some spare parts that I've gotten from the junkyard. I may have to go back to the junkyard. It's been a few years since I've been to the junkyard. I guess I should check out the pick and pull. The area's gotten pretty rough down there in Lakewood. So, but I want to see what the inventory is looking like for Pathfinders down at the pick and pull in Lakewood, which is the one that I've always gone to. For anyone still watching, thank you for hanging around. Check within 25 miles. Yeah, they don't have any older Pathfinders right now at the Lakewood pick and pull. They have some at Tumwater, but I'm not willing to drive that far right now. The 93XE. Yeah, I'm kind of veering off topic here right now. Sorry, guys. Again, it's the ADD running rampant at the moment. Yeah, a lot of these vehicles are old, so they're most likely heavily parted out by now. But again, I need to focus. But I also need to go and clean my parents' house. I volunteered to clean my parents' house, my old house where I was at last year. For a little bit of side cash. And so I'm doing a deep clean right now on their house, mainly the living room level right now. And so, but I'm really sore from yesterday. So if you guys are wondering, the real reason I haven't been around recently and just have a rough start to the year is it's because I'm stuck inside my head, guys. Really struggling mentally, being outside of work and not being in a social environment as often as I was. So I went back to the gym in November and I was doing pretty good up until Thanksgiving. And then it just stopped. Something happened and I just stopped. I haven't been able to drag my lazy butt back ever since. But right now, I want to start getting outside and walking again. I want to start getting outside, walking, and doing more cardio. And also, I'm doing intermittent fasting to help burn off a lot of this fat that I picked up over the last few years. Like, really, I was pretty skinny up until I got COVID the first time in August of 2021. And then I started rapidly gaining weight, and I haven't been able to cut it ever since. So I've been slightly overweight for the last 4 years, and I'm only now becoming serious about doing something about it. Like I was serious back in November, and then I just again went through a slide. And it's really difficult to do now that I have no medical coverage, which means I have no access to any behavioral health services or any pharmacies. But I'm in talks to potentially get a job with a company called Action Entertainment around here, which is run by a guy named TSL Tyler here on YouTube. Him and I have a very long history. We've known each other since we were elementary kids. And then we stopped talking back in early 2013, but then we started talking again 11 years later, early 2024. It was thanks to a good friend of mine, Miniman0404, who linked us up again. And we've been, 2024 was the last time I saw any of them. And you guys will see in the BTS when I release it. In the BTS, July of 2024, TSL Tyler and I went to a siren test down in Ording. That's actually the last time I saw him. Ever since then, we kind of, we've kind of been a bit busy in different ways. He's a business owner, so he's busy in his own way. Me, I'm trying to run multiple different brands here and balance life and mental health. And I've been succumbing to my struggle. I'm not meaning that in like any way where I'm going to do self-harm or anything. That I'm not going to do. I'm strong enough to know that that's not okay. And I have family members that are willing to help and have been helping me, which is great news. And it makes me extremely grateful to have close family members, And so I know that I'm not alone. And I have you guys as well. I have you guys that are sticking by my side through thick and thin. And I couldn't be any more grateful for you guys. Also, thank you to whoever just liked the stream too. You're a real one. Truly, you are a real one. Whoever just liked. Again, if you guys want to see more content in the future, feel free to drop a like on this stream and also share the channel to your friends and family too. Central Virginia EAS says howdy. Hello, my friend. How are you doing? You're watching from Central Virginia, obviously. How long have you been subscribed? If you want to let me know that would be great. How long have you been subscribed to my channel? Again, this started out as Milton Washington Tech 1999. Doing pretty good. How about yourself? Doing okay. I could do a lot better. I was just going over some projects that I have in the back burner right now. Trying to really get going here. And I'm debating on whether I want to go full effort into getting this EAS compilation out and then getting the BTS out that's on the other computer. And I'll show you guys this setup as well. See, here's my main setup. That's a light up there that has Wi-Fi issues, so it doesn't always turn on. But yeah, the cable management's a little messy right now because I have this secondary little monitor that I have to read comments when I'm doing live streams on my Stormwatch channel. And I have all my camera gear spread out right here right now. I eventually want to get shelving or a drawer unit or something to keep all my camera gear in when it's not in the bag. If you know what I mean. Because I got a bunch of Nikon lenses here. Got my DJI Mini 3 drone. A few mics, like my Tascam DR40, the old reliable that I've had for going on 10 years now. Got a new LED monitor since my screen is broken on the Nikon Z50, unfortunately. And my GoPro Hero 11, a weather radio right there. Ooh, +1 followers on Facebook. Yeah, I got a lot of camera gear here that could be put to good use here in the future. I just have to get off my butt, get the motivation, and actually do it. Yeah, this is a quick look at the setup that I have right now. Again, cable management's not completely done. This wire cable here, this 16 gauge speaker wire was a little too short. So I may have to put in some longer speaker wire and extend this channel out a little bit on that side. I'm also out of three-way connectors too. So I just have a little two-way little thingamajigger right there. You know, I ran out of the little corner pieces, the three-way corner pieces, which means I'll probably have to grab a few more sets of cable channels here. A lot of wire management behind the scenes though. See, I have these Govee light bars behind here also to add a backdrop. I have a little power strip up here also. Need to finish the PC cable management to run another channel, but down here. It's my white lights. See, I have quite a bit going on back here, but the cable channels are invaluable. And I mean, like, worth every penny. And they're dirt cheap too. Really nice setup. Thank you, Central Virginia EAS. And I don't know if I saw if you commented earlier. Did you let me know? I'm going to ask you, how long have you been subscribed to my channel? If you feel like asking. How long have you been subscribed to this channel? Again, we started out as Milton Washington Tech 1999 back in 2013. Actually, you know, I was a little kiddie, so I would literally make and delete channels on like a monthly basis when I was 12 years old. And then suddenly I stuck around with Milton Watt Tech 99 and it took off. And I've kept it like that really ever since until this year. I did a silent rebrand from Milton Watt Tech 99 to Milton Watt Tech 99 Productions back in 2017. That was, if you go back to my intro version 5.0 video, it's Milton Watt Tech 99 intro 5.0, I think. That's when I did the silent rebrand to Milton Watt Tech 99 Productions. And I ran with that name for a little over 8 years. Then I decided I wanted to change. And so I contemplated it at the end of last year and I decided, okay, 2026, we're going to be changing the name. We're going to go with something more relevant, specifically to sirens, EAS, and trains. So I wanted to break up the channel into several other channels as well, which I did in 2023. 2023, I launched 3 other channels. So that got rid of my weather content outside of EAS and sirens, of course, but my proprietary weather content, my music, which I had on here too, and my vlogs, like my off-topic videos. And it turned out to be the best for a few of those, or a couple of those, pardon me. This channel and my Stormwatch channel as well, Puget Sound Stormwatch, which is now my most popular channel at, you guys saw on the counter there, it was around 2,140 subscribers. And this channel right now, I think last time I checked was 1,287. And so things are looking up. I just have to stick along with it and keep the up tempo, if you know what I'm saying. So I think now that I've talked about this and got it off my mind, I have a bit more motivation now to really go deep into editing my next EAS compilation and then start, or I should say finish. Because I have the project started, but I haven't finished my edit for the BTS teaser yet. You know, because for those who don't know, I do record BTS for pretty much every siren test I go to. Not sure if my message went through. Let me check that. No, it did not. So I saw Howdy doing pretty good. How about yourself? And then a gap to really nice setup. And then not sure if my message went through. This is to Central Virginia EAS. Yeah, if you were answering my question, then yeah, your message did not go through. Yes, strange. That is correct. But yeah, we're at 55 minutes now. Not sure how much longer I want to go on. You know, maybe must have been because my message was so long. That's probably it. Yeah. That's probably why. It probably has a cap on it. And also, users who aren't moderators or myself cannot attach links either. So if it has a link, then it won't post. Maybe try breaking up your message into multiple parts. I'm kind of debating on showing you guys me editing this live, honestly. Like maybe that would help continue the live stream and keep the interest up. Because I'm really trying to build watch hours on this channel to lead towards monetization. But my watch hours have only gone down over the last couple of months or so. But anyways, that's a pretty good question on how long I've been subscribed to your channel for. So it's probably been a while, like a few years or so, right? Can you guess a few years, or are you a more recent subscriber? I think I can actually probably look at this too if I wanted to. There's a setting around here somewhere where I can look at subscribers. See how long someone's been subscribed. Yeah, I got it right here. Let me check this out real quick. Maybe I can answer your question for you. Potentially. Maybe for a few years, because I remember when your name was, yeah. Yeah, so I only did the changeover in the last week, I think. Yeah, I'm through 2024 and now 23. As long as you've made your subscriptions public, then I'll be able to look it up here on my end. So let me just check this out real quick. Yeah, I'm not seeing it yet, and I'm all the way through 2018 now. So maybe your subscriptions aren't public. Or I might have just missed it. So I'll have to go through it one more time. You said it's probably been a few years at least. Let's check this out here. Wait, let me make sure your channel name is not under a different name. Yeah, Central Virginia EAS. Also, let me subscribe to your channel too. I'm not subscribed to you, so I just sub to you. Looks like you have good Siren and EAS content. Looking at your page right now. Keep up the good work, my friend, and thank you so much for sticking along through thick and thin. Yeah, sure thing. Not a problem. Glad to help out any other faithful Siren enthusiast and EAS enthusiast. See, there's an SPC EAS West Virginia. Sorry. Jeez. There's another EAS fan nearby you that subscribed to my channel, but your subscriptions may not be public. Unless unless you've been subscribed for a very long time and it's literally off the list. Gonna go all the way to the very beginning here. Can't believe how many people have been around since the very beginning. That is awesome. Really humbling too. Okay, yeah, that's why I can't find you, because your subscriptions are private. So, yeah, I'll just stop that for right now. Yeah, that explains why I couldn't find you in my list, because your subs are private. But that's okay. No big deal. Looks like my iPhone 10R has been updated, so maybe it'll be a little less buggy now. Again, I do most of my streaming on this phone. So I can keep my main phone open to read chat and also have it open in case like there's an emergency or something. I like to play things safe. So far it does appear to be a bit more stable initially, which is good. Yeah, now I need to figure out all the metadata on these videos, which of course all my videos are stored on the phone that I'm recording right now. So I would have to end the live stream before I begin editing these videos a bit more in depth. And in terms of siren tests, October was my last official siren test. I did record in ambience recording out the window in November, but it was pouring down rain the entire time, so it's pretty hard to hear. Outside of that, I haven't been to a siren test since my fail back in October during the Great Shakeout, where my friend Alex Crapo, aka Trains of the Cascades, and I went out to the town of Nisqually to check out a newer Wheelan WPS 2905 siren that was installed. It supposedly was supposed to be tested during the Great Shakeout, but at least that siren did not test. We waited about 15 minutes and not a peep out of it. So I guess it just ripped a bunch of the motivation out of me to continue doing that. And I was contemplating going to a siren test this month, but then I came down with that sore throat around that time, and I just didn't want to be out and about. I just did not feel good. So it's just pretty poor luck with the siren tests as of recent. Pretty poor luck. I don't know if I want to do February too. I'm running out of new locations to record that are nearby, because a lot of them are on private property. So I'd have to cautiously fly a drone and set an audio recorder nearby, kind of like what I did with the DSA up at the port of Tacoma. It's just, I think it's too risky to record the sirens on the port with the full setup, honestly. So I think because the rest of the sirens that I have left to record nearby, like there's a couple down in Ording, there's a siren on the Soldier's Home, there's a siren down in Southeast Ording, but there's nowhere to park. It's right across the street from a mobile home park, but there's nowhere to park. It's very sus down there. So I have 2 Ording sirens left to record. I recorded all of Sumner's. I recorded Alderton and McMillan. I have the Puyallup Fair modulator left to record. So I have 1 in Puyallup left. See, I did Riverside back in 2017. My most popular siren video I've ever recorded was that dual tone modulator sounding whale back in April of 2017. That one is either the second or third most popular video on my channel ever. So I got that one, and then Fife. There's a couple in Fife. There's a few in Fife actually that I have left to record. But I ran into kind of a predicament with my most recent one in October, which was on private property. Luckily, the guys were nice and all, but I got sort of busted for recording on their property. So I won't be going back there anytime soon. That was near the Sport Co. down in Fife, the southwestern portion of Fife along 20th Street, near 20th and Frank Albert Road. But they're doing freeway construction down there right now. They're extending Highway 167 into Fife and through the valley into Puyallup. So actually, one of the sirens I wanted to record, which has been recorded a couple of times now by other enthusiasts, down there in northeast Fife, off of, I believe it's either 59th and 12th or 62nd and 12th, down by one of the pump stations down there. It was formerly in 2001 up until 2020. So it was the first siren installed in Fife as a Wheelan 3000 in 2002, replaced by a 2001 in 2015, and then replaced by a modulator 8032-B in 2020. But it's now cut off due to the freeway development there. It's completely cut off. I want to pull up the satellite to show you guys real quick. Actually, let me show you guys my Mount Rainier siren map real quick. Yeah, I need to add, in case you guys didn't know, they added 2 new locations at the end of last year, which are not on this map yet. Either November or December. I can't remember. I think it actually might have been later October. They started installing the sirens. Yeah, it was later October because they said they wouldn't be active for November and they would be active for December and on. So I have it separated into the river valleys here. So like I have the Puyallup River Valley sirens, the Carbon River sirens. In this case, this is like South Prairie Creek, but you know what I mean. Close enough. And then the Nisqually River sirens. So I have the Carbon River locations all recorded. I haven't done any of the Nisqually locations yet, but that's quite a drive that I don't want to do right now due to budget concerns. I don't want to spend a lot of money on gas, to be honest. And I'm guzzling a lot of gas with those fuel injector issues right now. So I'm keeping my trips pretty limited to the immediate area. I haven't recorded these 2 spots. Okay, Central Virginia EAS, have a great day as well. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah, thank you for everything. But these 2 locations in Ording I have not recorded yet. Again, this is a lot of private property here. And there's no shoulder on the road. It's one way each way. There's this little mobile home park or whatever here. Okay, it's not a mobile home park, but you know what I mean. It's a one-way road. Goes all the way down here. And if I were to park off to the side here, which there's basically no room to do. Oh, sorry about that. Basically no room to do. I'd be on private property the whole time. It's just suspect. So this siren would be really hard to record. I think the best way to do it would be for me to hang out over on the trail here and just launch a drone from the trail over to this area. And I'd have to park somewhere in town here and then walk the trail quite a way. I'd probably have to park here at the skate park. Ooh, excuse me. Park at the skate park. And then walk all the way down to about here and then launch the drone from that point. And then just leave an audio recorder back here as well. Because there's really nowhere to record this siren down here. It's out in the middle of nowhere, basically. Soldier's Home, I don't know if this is public. I've debated going in there, but I don't know if they'll... And also... this map is pretty out of date when it comes to photos as well as information. This was actually installed in 2009. I confirmed via public records. This is a modulator 2008 here on the Soldier's Home. I don't know what siren was there before, but there was a siren here at the Soldier's Home that I can't confirm before 2009. And it was replaced by, again, this little modulator 2008 right there on the edge of the building. But this may be a little easier to record. I'm wondering if I can get in here in public and possibly see if I can get permission to record the siren up close. I'm not sure how they are about filming. So at the very least, I could probably launch a drone from nearby here if I were to park out here. Or find somewhere to park up here. It's really, again, parking is an issue out here in the middle of nowhere. This is all private property too, so it's pretty risky. I've had to park like on the side of the road over here or something and just launch a drone and keep an audio recorder pretty close. Would not look sus, you know. But just these are the only two locations I have left to record in Ording. You know, I recorded this one in April of 2020. No, I recorded this one in March of 2024. This one I believe was October of 2022. April of 2023. July of 2024. This one in McMillan I recorded in June of 2023. This one in Alderton was September of 2024. Riverside Park here in Sumner was October of 2024. Downtown Sumner, March of 2023. North Sumner at the Industrial Park was April of 2024. East Puyallup here was last year, July of 2025. Still have to record the modulator for 4016 somehow. It's probably going to be drone only from that one. It's because it's in fairground property. And then there's the old Wheelan right there, still sitting dead as a doornail. Poor thing's just going to rot up there pretty much, or until the building comes down. Again, I still need to record this modulator somehow. Downtown Puyallup I recorded in January of 2019. North Puyallup again last year, April 2025. May of 2023, I recorded the West Puyallup modulator. And then Riverside here at Chief Lashai. Again, most popular video, siren video on my channel. Sorry about those Discord notifications. I gotta plug in my laptop here. There we go. Again, I recorded this April 2017. And then I recorded this when it was both the 2001 and the modulator. The 2001 I tried in, I believe it was April of 2019, and it failed. And then I tried it as a modulator in May of 2022, and it was successful. Having issues with my 74-200 here. The alarm switch keeps getting stuck, and now it's stuck on weekly tests too from yesterday. Look at that. It's still showing required weekly tests. But there's a switch that's stuck on that. So it sounds off every day at like, I think 11:49 it is. Yeah. It's 11:49 right now. So yeah, May 2022, I recorded that as a modulator. And then I recorded this one January of 2023 from a distance. This one's still unrecorded. This one's right by a 7-Eleven, but this is a very suspect area of Fife. And these are all private businesses. So really the only place I'd be able to record it is literally park at the park down the street. Brookville Gardens, which has a history of getting their cars broken into. So I don't know if that's a great idea. And then walk on the sidewalk all the way here and then stand like a dumbbell on the sidewalk and record this thing. A very busy intersection. So I don't think I want to do that, honestly. This will likely be a drone only one too. I'll probably have to fly a drone from down the street here and set up an audio recorder down the street as well. Because the siren itself is on private property. I don't want to risk any trespassing. See, this is the freeway that they're expanding right now, and this is the siren that's currently cut off. This is an 8032B there in Northeast Fife. So originally, this road went all the way up here and joined this one up here. So I was able to drive right by real quick and snap some photos at one point. See, that's what that is right there. That siren has since been cut off by the construction. Could probably record from a distance out here on 12th Street, but again, a lot of construction, a lot of noise going on. Probably wouldn't be great for the recording environment. Recorded this modulator here January of 2017. And then I recorded this modulator back in September of 2022. This modulator was back in July of 2022. Still need to get out to this one, but this one's going to be tough because, again, private property and no parking on the streets. I just don't really want to take that risk after, when I went to Sport Code down here October of last year. Luckily, they didn't kick me off the property, but still, I just don't want to run into any private property again. So I may just have to park at like the casino down here and just launch a drone or something over there. And then this modulator cannot be recorded at all, not even by drone, because there's a police department right there and that's the public works, so it's a no-fly zone on private property again. So that one will never be recorded. And of course, the famous micro modulator here in West Fife, which was recorded a couple of times. I think it was, I like to say it was July of 2012 and sometime in the summer of 2016. I think it might have been June 2016 or August of... No, it wasn't August because there was a guy that flew up and recorded it in August. So either June or July of 2016 and July of 2012, I think I recorded that. It will need to be re-recorded eventually. And of course, the port sirens here. Only the DSA of which I've recorded, and the rest of them are pretty much on private property, so no shot you're recording those. I think that's pretty much everything. I think I got all of the sirens. So there's still like 5 or 6 locations I need to record in here some way, somehow. Not counting the port. I got all the Carbon River sirens, and I still need to eventually go out and record the Nisqually River sirens. And they also put up a siren in Eatonville, and they put up a siren here up in Tahale. For some reason, they put a Lahar siren up on the hill. Some odd reason. So here at Tahale Heights, they have a new modulator. And down in Eatonville as well, which is out of the immediate floodplain, they installed a modulator right by the SD10. And I need to see if they replaced that SD10 or not. Or if they have the modulator and the SD10 right next to each other. So yeah, we stopped by McKenna here. This one's right next to a Model 2. But they have video recording, so it would probably be pretty difficult to film that one up close and not be sus. So I may have to park somewhere else and launch a drone there. Potentially. Because I might get trespassed from that fire department if I try to record that. Alder Lake Park, I couldn't get good photos of this. This one's on private property. This parking lot here was gated off when I went to go check it out. LB could probably get away with this. We're recording LB. And then Ashford is kind of questionable too because it's right next to a fire station that's active. There's no other area to record it from. I think really LB is the only one I could record in the Nisqually and not be suspect. If you know what I mean. So yeah, there's a few spots that are likely never going to get recorded. And that's just me being honest about it. But yeah, that's a look at the siren map that I have. And I'll link it in every siren video I record as well. I show it up in the cards, but also a link in the description, I believe, as well. Because I link the siren map, again, in every up-close recording that I have pretty much done since 2022, I think. No, since 2023, when I went with my current default editing format. That's when I started linking the map in pretty much every video. Still one person hanging around with me. Thank you for that. Hopefully that's not myself on my computer. No, never mind. It's gone. Hopefully that's not myself. Let me watch this again. No, never mind. It's gone. No, it looks like whoever it was left. I think it's probably going to be about time to wind this thing down. All right. Hello to whoever just came in. Welcome in. Ideally, I should have done this stream in the afternoon time when everybody's out of school. Because, again, most of my audience, I believe, is below the age of 18. Yeah, folks, I think we're going to wrap it up for today. But hey, thanks for tuning in to those of you who did. Really appreciate you guys for tuning in. I want to start a live stream schedule and get the notice out to my subscribers that I'm going to be live streaming so I can build up more anticipation for this and not just stream out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think now that I've talked about it, I think I'm going to try to push to get this EAS compilation out today, hopefully. So just if you're watching this stream again on replay, then that is most likely what's going to happen. If not today, then probably tomorrow or sometime at the beginning of next week. Because the Seahawks are in the playoffs. You know, the Seahawks are playing the divisional round against their rival, the 49ers. So I'm going to be busy all day Saturday with that. That's for sure. And then I'm going to be watching the playoffs Sunday as well. I think Sunday is going to be a rest day also. So if not the next 2 days, then definitely Monday. That's the plan right now. So thank you guys. I appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. If you guys are watching this on replay, again, go ahead and let me know where you're watching from or how long you've been subscribed. Again, thank you guys for everything. This wouldn't be possible without all of you. I will see you guys for the next live stream. We'll probably do one of these next week. But I want to make a post or a short before talking about it so we can actually have some people show up. And it'll likely be later on in the day, towards the afternoon time, when everybody's out of school. So I'll see you guys then. Have a great day, everyone. Sounds of Secoma, formerly known as Milton Watt Tech 99 Productions, signing off.